Welcome back. And the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, in collaboration with UNIDO, with funding support from the European Union, is organizing the maiden edition of the WACOMP Made-in-Ecowas Exhibition in Ghana under the West African Competitiveness Program. And guess what? Over 100 MSMEs operating in the processed fruits, cassava, and cosmetics sectors will showcase their products and services from the 29th of June to the 1st of July at the forecourt of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly Office Complex. To register as an exhibitor, and we'll be telling you a bit more about that, you can call 0242 or 0243, I beg your pardon, 425-872 or 0547 513-373. For more information, visit wacompghana.org. And by the way, WACOMP is spelled WACOMP. So WACOMP Ghana.org altogether. And that is how you can get on board. But joining me for that conversation in the studio, we have Na Ache Nyakpo, Cluster and Networks Expert, Cosmetic and Personal Care Product. It's a WACOMP project. Na Ache reminds me of a good friend of mine in the media. And then Alexander Dazawa, Director of Projects, Ghana Export Promotion Authority. If I've murdered your names in any way, this is the best time to call me to order before we proceed. So, Naache, and did I get your surname?
Yes,
right?
very well.
Dazawa,
yes.
Okay. Dazawa. And Naache, good to have you join the conversation.
Nice to be here.
All right, so tell us a bit, even as we kickstart this conversation, tell us a bit about the WACOMP engagement and how it came about. How did all of this start?
So WACOMP is an acronym. It's for the West Africa Competitiveness Program. And WACOMP is mainly being implemented across West Africa. And in Ghana, we're partnering with the Ministry of Trade and Industry and all the agencies under MOTI, including GEPA. And we work mainly with what we call the 5 C's.
Which are?
The 5 C's are compete. So that's encouraging SMEs to be more competitive in various ways, including and with conforming. Okay, so the second C is conform. This is where we talk about standards and being aware of the standards necessary to market your products, sell your products in different kinds of markets. Then we have credit, that's access to credit. We support SMEs to understand what it means to be able to access credit, to be prepared to access credit. And then we have Connect, where we create the platform to connect with your customers, to the markets, to understand what it means that your customers want. And then we have the last C, that's Coordinate. Coordinating all of this by working with partners like GEA, FDA, GSA, all of that, coming together to make sure that the SME is ready to be more competitive.
I think I missed one of them. Compete, credit, connect, coordinate. So which one am I missing?
It's compete, credit, conform.
Okay, so
Connect.
I'm missing conform.
Coordinate.
So I must fall in line. I must conform. I'm conforming right now. Mr. Dazawa, so we also have, yes, we know about the concept now and what it has stood for. How long has this been in place though?
3 years we've been implementing the WACOMP project. It's an EU-funded project.
Okay.
That is to make West Africa competitive to export quality products into the EU markets.
And who are
That's
some?
the whole concept. And we are dealing with SMEs in Ghana. But, you know, we have a broad spectrum of sectors that we deal with. But for the purposes of the project, concentration is on 3 key value chains: cassava, processed fruits, and then cosmetics.
Why the focus on those?
Well, it's always asked. But, well, you know, we are dealing with West Africa, and it's not only Ghana, but it's implemented in all the other West African countries, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, and so forth and so on. And we are looking at commonalities of products that prevail mainly in these countries. So if you take cassava, we all know cassava is a West Africa product. If you take fruits,
and a major one at that.
A very
that
major,
can be done with cassava. I mean, we're not even we're just scratching the surface.
At all.
Basically.
And cosmetics is a booming industry in West Africa. So in the wisdom of the framers of the project, they thought that these 3 are key value chains for West Africa. So the idea is to work together to be able to conform, compete on all that. And the focus is on the European markets, which is, of course, our major export market anyway.
At the end of all this, I mean, with this drive, 3 years on and all of that, what can you say are the benefits we've gained? We have the AFTA, but look, the reality is that intra-trade is still a huge problem. I moderated an event for the Ghana Investment Promotion Center recently, and you would realize that we're still not, in fact, honestly, AFTA hasn't taken off. It's not. We have the Secretariat sitting there. But on that beat, I want to find out what has this given birth to? Well, and what can we expect this year and moving forward in terms of the promotion?
Yeah, it's mainly in capacity building for the SMEs to make them stronger to compete. That is it. So the 3 years of implementation of the project has seen many SMEs benefit, i.e. in these 3 sectors, building their capacity in branding, in promotion, in strengthening their networks, and eventually in taking them to the market. For example, GEPA has taken, I would say close to maybe 30, 40, 50 companies, SMEs that have capacity and potential to access the EU market, to first in various places in Germany, in France, and so forth and so on, which has resulted in orders being placed. Okay. And some of them are actively now exporting to the European Union, to Germany, and a few other countries. The last one we did was in February, which we call the Vivanes, a cosmetic fair in Germany, and the response was very good. You know, the exhibitors had gotten orders to supply, and now the challenge is even how we're going to organize.
How you're going to meet
those.
I don't know whether you've mentioned cassava, processed fruits, and then the cosmetics. But on the cosmetics bit, I know oil palm is pretty valuable in that chain for lipstick and others. And I don't know whether that is also,
part of
in the fray.
So for the cosmetics,
I knew you would want to go there.
The focus is actually on, excuse me, shea butter and black soap.
Black soap.
Because incidentally, we know that these products go out of Ghana onto the US markets and the European markets, and they do not conform to the standards required there.
Right.
So what's happening is that a lot of it is going in the raw form.
Without any processing,
there's no benefit to the SMEs who are putting in all the effort to make it happen. So this project actually seeks to enlighten them about what exactly they're expected to do so that they can also have that market share. And by design, it's put the SMEs in these category into clusters. We have the northern cluster where majority of the shea butter comes from. They understand now what the process they are required to follow is. You know, there's the handed down process that has been there for ages.
And now standard practices they must meet.
Exactly, but is that what the customer wants? Okay, because then you find that the nuts are going instead of the butter, and then they lose value. They don't get the benefit.
Right.
But now they understand what's the right process, what's the kind of quality the market is demanding, and they're learning to work together. And then also we have put together standards in collaboration with Ghana Standards Authority. There are 16 new cosmetic standards now. They didn't have, there used to be no standard for black soap, for instance, but now there's a standard. So what we've done is empowered them to be able to use these criteria to sell on the export.
I think you have a customer sitting right in front of you, because I use black soap and I use shea butter. So
now it's better. It's going to be better.
It's going to be better.
Yes.
But let's talk about the numbers you're expecting. Visitors, exhibitors, and especially for the exhibitors, what are the benefits they stand to gain?
So for the exhibitors, we want to encourage them. Right now, there are a lot of them that have registered. We want to encourage them to actually pay up and come, because we only have 100 slots, and it's fast filling
100
up.
pay.
Just 100 slots.
Let me say, you lose that small now.
That's it. Just 100 slots, and it's fast filling up. We've got barely 2 weeks to go, and the benefits that they stand to gain is exposure, because there are a lot of people who are looking for good quality products that are locally made and they don't know where to find them. You know,
so this will be a sort of one-stop shop. You come here,
Find
you identify both
yes.
buyer, customer.
Exactly.
And for a lot of
client.
them, there are going to be people who are potential, buyers in large quantities for export. And, this could be your break, really. In your small corner, you're not going to come out. People are going to know about you. The big shops are going to want to, put your product on their shelves. So please do come and make sure you're seen.
Yeah, and additionally, I also say that it will be an opportunity for GEPA to see new products, to see new companies coming. We'll be doing a lot of assessments of the exhibitors during the show to see the kinds of products that they have and assess their potential for us to enable them to then move to the next stage of actually placing the products on the international markets. I know that some of those that have already registered are companies that we know already, whom we have assisted to go to the market. But we are expecting more, because particularly in the cosmetic area, we have many small companies that are doing very well, and a lot of them women-led, young ladies, finish university, are on their own, have established small businesses. And what we like about some of these products is the packaging. It's really improving. Yeah. And so we want to use the opportunity to assess the products that to be brought. Right. So that we will know how to tailor the assistance that we'll give to them to become exporters eventually, because the numbers are very important to us.
And I guess that is the way to go, so that eventually they're producing in bulk, they're producing a lot more, they're exporting, and yes. Of course, as we get the foreign exchange, it also works for our country in dealing with all this, the situations we find ourselves in. But to cap off the conversation, so how can one register his or her business? What's the process online or otherwise? What are the numbers to call? What is your web address? Both of you can...
Yes, WACOMP.org, as we've already mentioned.
So WACOMP Ghana?
WACOMP.org.
That is WACOMP
Ghana.org. And then the facility is there for you to register. Otherwise, you can also call, as you initially mentioned, 054-751-3373. And
could you slow down and mention that?
Okay, 054-751-3373. And it's a hotline, so there's always somebody to receive you and to give you the direction as to what to do. And it's only some few CDs to register. It's heavily subsidized, looking at the international nature. Yes, international, heavily subsidized.
Heavily subsidized?
Yes, looking at international
heavily subsidized.
So we encourage them, those who have registered already but have not paid, as we are saying, it's only 2 weeks away. So we are going to have a cutoff point. So they should hurry up and come and pay. It's going to be quite an impressive show. At the sidelines also of the exhibition, we are going to organize a 2-day seminar that will touch on West Africa competitiveness in the area of the 3 value chains. And we're going to have very experienced people who are going to facilitate the process. On standards, Ghana Standards Authority will speak, Food and Drugs Authority will speak, and experts on ECOWAS trade will also be there to speak.
All right.
So it's very important that we take advantage of this.
Just to clarify, you say 2 weeks from now, but could you mention the specific date so that people will...
The event itself is from 29th of June to the 1st of July. 29th of June, all right, the 1st of July.
Okay.
Yes. So it's just 2 weeks away.
Thank you very much for joining the conversation. Any final words from you now, Chair, since
yes.
Just briefly on that.
Briefly. So I'd like to encourage all in these 3 value chains. Please do not let this opportunity pass you by. Really. And also to the visitors who would be coming by, come in your numbers, come and see what it is that is going outside Ghana, where they are benefiting when it's in abundance here in Ghana. Please do come visit and patronize as well.
Do you know what this reminds me of? The 90s and the expos and the trade fair. It used to be big. Yeah. All of that is lost now.
Yes.
But anyway, reviving it. Na Atwea Nyakpo is a cluster and networks expert, cosmetics and personal care product, WACOMP project. We also had in the studio Alexander Dadzawa, Director of Projects, Ghana Export Promotion Authority, GEPA for short. Lady, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining the conversation.
Thank you for the
Thank you for having us.